And we're live, and welcome back to the every Tuesday, the Empower Hour. It's probably going to be more like 30 to 45 minutes today. I got a really busy schedule this week and next week and the next week and the next week. So it's going to be very difficult for me to get a full hour in. But today I'm super excited because I have 20 things that I want to tell you. 20 different things that I want to tell you. And the title of today's talk is 20 Ways to Inspire and Motivate Your Employees. So if you're not an employer and you're on the call, you're welcome to stay. Just take notes and then take this list that I'm going to give you to your leader, your employer, and tell them they should start doing these things. And if you are an employer with employees, take notes, and this can make a big difference in your business and your relationship with your employees. So welcome everybody. We're going to wait for a couple more minutes, let more people build on. A lot of people on the phone call. I appreciate all of y'all, and let people know about this, especially business owners. That's who I like to talk to for sure. So I know a lot of you are calling from your Wisconsin, your Ohio. I saw Indiana. I saw a lot of phone numbers and people coming in. So I'm sorry about the weather. I'm wearing short sleeve. It's 75, 76 degrees outside. Let me just check. I'll show you. Not to make y'all jealous or anything, but in Sarasota right now it's actually 71 degrees. So you can see that. So I was talking to a client this morning, and it was really cold in Wisconsin. He's on the call. So yeah, very good. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And the title again is 20 Ways to Inspire and Motivate Your Employees. How many of you, and I can't see all of your hands, but how many of you would like to have employees that think like a boss? Right? I know I would. I do. But I used to not have employees that would think like a boss or think like an owner or think like a leader. They thought like employees. And employees feel like you have all the answers. Employees feel like everything depends on you. Employees feel like they can't make a decision without you telling them what to do. And that's your fault. As a leader, as an owner, as a business guy, that's your fault that your employees act like employees. They're going to act like employees if you treat them like employees. All right, so I'm going to give you 20 ways to to make your employees act and think like a leader, act and think like a business owner, to make decisions. And one of the ways we can do that, that's not actually in the list that I have here, is to have a solid mission, vision, and purpose. Okay, so that's the foundation. If you don't have what I call an MVP, a mission, a vision, and a purpose, then you don't have a foundation to build onto. And so I would suggest that you hire a business coach, somebody that is able to help you write a good, solid mission, vision, and purpose for your company. Somebody that makes you go through the. I say writing a proper mission statement is like giving birth to a baby. Now, the women that might hear me say that probably wouldn't agree with me, but it's not just something that you just whip out on a piece of paper and, oh, we got a mission statement. No, this is something that I want you to go into labor with. I want you to struggle with. I want you to try it on and it not fit, and you change it, and it's a work. And then after you have the mission statement, the vision statement, and the purpose statement, the real hard work begins. It's hard to craft a mission statement, but it's really hard to implement it into your business. And so you better know how to implement a mission, vision, and purpose, and sometimes values into your company, and how it should dictate every decision. Every major thing that you and your company does should be surrounded and influenced by the MVP. And if you think that I sound a little clogged up, I am. I just came back from Indiana with a head cold. So thank you, Indiana, for your cold welcome and a gift coming back. So anyway, so that's my little talk on mission, vision, and purpose. You need to have that in order to build a company, to be able to inspire your employees and to give them something to stand on in your company. So the 20 ways to inspire and motivate your employees and turn them from an employee-minded person to a leader-minded person, to a person that thinks like a boss, thinks like a leader, thinks like an entrepreneur. So if you want to know why your employees think like and act like an employee, it's because you treat them like an employee. So stop that. That's what I call dumber than stupid. If you want your employees to think like a boss, act like a boss, make decisions like a boss, start treating them like a boss and stop treating them like an employee. So that's number one. Number two would be to have a mission, vision, and purpose. Now let's get into the 20 ways to inspire and motivate your employees so that they can stop thinking like a employee. Number one, you want to recognize their achievements. Listen, they do great things almost on a daily basis. All right. And you as a leader need to start recognizing and showing appreciation, publicly acknowledging and rewarding your employees for the hard work that they do. And if you don't believe that they do hard work, why don't you stop doing what you're doing and start doing what they do for a day and see what they do. And in fact, I would encourage that once in a while, just go work alongside your employees and you'll see what all they do. So publicly acknowledge and recognize their hard work and accomplishments and make them feel valued. See, employees don't leave a company. When they leave a person. They leave the boss. They leave the leader. They don't leave the company. They leave the person. Number two, career development opportunities. Okay, so I learned a valuable principle from my little parakeet when I was about 14, 15 years old. I learned a principle that parakeets want to climb. Okay, so I had my little bird. I think his name was Sparky. I think that was the name of the bird. And I had it on this finger, and I got tired of holding my hand up, holding the bird. So I wanted to change hands. So what I did is I would take my other finger and put it up onto the chest of the bird, and the bird just stepped up to the next level. And I was like, wow, that was easy. And so I started just like switching my fingers out, making it climb up, and just kept, every time I put a finger on top, it climbed up. And so I learned that parakeets want to climb. And so after that, I built a ladder. I went out and made a little wooden ladder, and I built a ladder, and this parakeet would climb just all the time. If you'd put it in front of a ladder, it would climb. When you put your employees in front of a career ladder or an opportunity ladder, they will climb. Most of them, not all of them. But here's what I've learned. If you want your employees to move up and to take on more responsibility and to have more authority, create a ladder, create a tier that they can reach. Just like the parakeet, if you put it in front of them, ambitious employees that really want to make something of themselves, they will step up. But you have to develop that ladder. You have to let them know that in this department, if you start in the department of sales at the lowest level, you could work all the way up to sales manager. And here's how. Here's what you have to do, the requirements you have to meet in order to step up. So number 2 is to make sure that you have a career development opportunity. Otherwise, your employees will stay at the lowest level. If you don't give them an opportunity to climb, my bird would not climb. It was only when the opportunity was presented that the bird would climb, and your employees are the same way. So look at like training opportunities, mentorships, opportunities for promotion to help employees grow professionally. So you want to make sure that you outline the path to a higher position. Okay. And that's up to you as a leader. Number 3, we have to open up communications. Almost, and I say almost, every single company I work with, the employees say, in fact, I don't know of I can't think of a company that I've worked with in the past 10 years that when I interview employees that they say, oh, communication, it's perfect. I don't know that I've never heard that. I don't know that I've ever heard them say that, no, we don't need to work on communication. It's great. They communicate with us. It happens up and down. That's something that is huge. And so you as a leader need to start opening up the avenues of communication and figure that out, because communication is huge when it comes to growing your team and inspiring. So encourage regular feedback from your employees. Share company updates. Be transparent. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. And actively listen for their concerns. When was the last time that you went to your employees one-on-one or as a group and said, hey, what are your concerns? What irritates you about your job? What does not work well in our company? What would you change if you wanted to change things? When was the last time you did that? See, you probably have those thoughts in your brain just for yourself, but I want you to start going out there and talking with your employees. And if you want them to think like a boss, you got to treat them like a boss. All right. So number 4 is a positive work environment. You want to make sure that you have a positive work environment. So what is that? What is a positive work environment? So create a supportive and collaborative. Okay. Supportive means that you're going to support them, that you're going to give them the tools, the opportunities, the training that they need to even be more successful. Okay. Collaborative means that you work together and you collaborate on ideas, that you reach out and get their ideas. And here's the problem. The basic problem I have with most leaders in most companies. You guys are trying to be the hero. Leaders are not the heroes. The heroes are the people that the leaders are leading. And a good leader does not want to be the hero. A good leader wants their people to be the hero. And you do that by supporting them and collaborating with them and getting their feedback and getting their ideas and creating that atmosphere where they feel safe to throw in their ideas, where they feel safe to throw in their, what my dad used to call pregnant ideas. Okay. My dad used to say, you're full of pregnant ideas. That means they were crazy. They were bursting and they could have given birth at any time. Okay. So create a supportive and collaborative atmosphere where employees feel comfortable expressing ideas and taking risks. One of the things that I like to tell my staff, my employees, and the people that I work with is I love mistakes. See, I think So many times we try to avoid mistakes so much that we kill creativity. If your people are scared to death that they might make a mistake, I can promise you their creativity is at a ground zero level. You have to learn how to embrace mistakes, and mistakes are made when you try new things or when you're not careful, but learn to embrace the mistakes. Let your people know that if they make a mistake, that's progress. Think of Elon Musk. You know, when his company makes a mistake, it cost him millions and millions of dollars. I heard him on an interview say that, when a rocket goes up and blows up and it didn't work, that's a costly experiment, like millions of dollars. But he said we extract from that what we need to know so that that doesn't happen again. And we make sure and one day they're going to get it right. Do you know how many rockets blew up before he finally got it right? Do you know how many times he had to do it over because he kept learning every time he messed up? So I don't care how many times you mess up, as long as you learn to not do that again. I love mistakes, but only if they happen once. Okay? So create that environment. Number 5, flexible scheduling. That's kind of a big deal. I work with a lot of clients that they don't understand the newer generation of employees and the ability to travel and to do things, and so we're becoming much more transient, much more able to do things than what we did even 20, 30 years ago. It was nothing uncommon last year, or not last year, but like years ago, that you have a job and you work every single day. You don't take off. You're not flexible. You don't even ask off. You might get fired if you ask off. Okay. But those days are over. It's getting a little out of hand. So if any young people are listening to me, stop it. Okay. Take a job seriously, and you don't have to have off so often. Okay. Now let me speak to the owners now. You better be flexible, because they'll go find a job that is. And so if you want to keep your employees, learn to be flexible, learn to work with them. So allow employees to set their own hours or work remotely when possible to accommodate personnel needs. Now, I don't like that. I don't like remote working. My assistant works from her house, but she has some grandchildren that really need some attention, and so that works out fine. But I don't like the idea of remote working, because I'm all about teamwork. I'm all about collaboration. I'm all about ideas coming together. And so it's important that you're flexible, but not too flexible. Okay. So that's my word of caution there. So number 6 is empower autonomy. Empower autonomy. Give employees ownership of their task and decision-making power within their roles. So you want to be able to give them enough freedom so that they can experience their creativity, or apply their creativity, but you don't want to give them so much room that they feel lost. Okay, so I learned this from my friend and fellow speaker, Dr. Lou Sterrett, the horse trainer. You never train a horse in an open field. You always train it in a small round pen. And the first thing you do is you run the horse into the round pen. As they go around, you apply pressure to the horse against the fence, because the fence is not going to move. The horse has to know that the boundaries are not going to move. And then and only then can the horse say, okay, I can't get out. My only hope is to turn towards the leader. My only hope is to make sure that I yield my will to the leader. Okay, that's horses. But as a leader, as a business owner with employees, you want to make sure that you empower your people. So you have to have boundaries. You have to have, a fence. They can't do anything just because they feel like it. Just because they're super creative does not mean they can go do anything. So, but you got to give them enough space and time to apply their creativity, but don't make it so big that they feel lost. So empower them with their own ownership and decision making ability. Number 7, you got to have goals. I want you to have goals for your company, whether it's a sales goal, whether it's a production goal, whether it's a employee count goal, whatever. Just have goals, but more importantly, help your people set goals. Help your people. Here's how I normally teach this. As business owners, we're really good at telling our employees, hey, come work for me so that I can reach my goals. Come work for me so that we can, as a company, can thrive and we can reach our goals. Did it ever occur to you that they have goals too? That they have certain things that they want to reach, that they might actually have something that they want to be, do, and have. So here it is. Here's all you need to do. One-on-one, go to your employees and say, in the next 5 years, what is something that you want to be, do, and have within the next 5 years? What do you want to become? What do you want to do? And what do you want to own? What do you want to be, do, and have within the next 5 years? And say, I want to do everything as your boss, as your leader, as your owner. I want to do everything I can to empower you to get what you want to be, do, and have. And a lot of you are thinking, well, why would I want to help my employees get something that maybe doesn't include me? Well, because you're nice. And if you're thinking, well, I don't want to do that, then you're not nice. Yeah, I said it. Here's the fact. They're going to leave you anyway. Nobody stays forever. Okay? So just accept that. They're going to leave you at some point. The question should be, when they leave me, do I want them to respect me or not respect me? Which one? I know I want my employees to respect me when they leave. If they don't respect me, if they don't have a deep respect for me, they're probably going to start a competing business. If they respect me, they're probably going to, if they respect me, they're going to go, start a different company completely, or go to a different area, or they'll probably even start a company that will support my company. Okay. Now, I don't know who Rip Tech is, but they're asking for my personal number. I don't give my personal number out, but I'm going to give you my office number if you want to call and schedule something. That number is 813-580-8920. So Rip Tech, whoever you are, my office number is 813-580-8920. Okay. And I'll put it in the comments here as well. Alrighty, and I sent it. All right. There you go. Feel free to call my office. All right. So that's the main thing. You got to set goals. Help them set goals. Help them to become, to be, do, and have what they want to come. So set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals for individuals and teams. So SMART goals, you've probably heard me talk about that. So you want to make sure that you have goals for not only your company, but also for your people as well. Number 8, celebrate milestones. Celebrate milestones. As your company moves ahead, as your company changes, makes changes, and conquers new territory and gets new accounts and all of this kind of stuff, you want to make sure that you celebrate milestones. So recognize and celebrate important achievements, both big and small, to maintain momentum. You gotta lead your people, and you gotta show them how to celebrate in business, and just celebrate your big milestones. Maybe when you reach your first $100,000 sale, throw a big party. Whatever you consider to be a big deal, make it a big deal, and include your people with it. Number 9 is regular feedback. We talked a little bit about this, but provide constructive feedback on a regular basis to help employees improve their performance. And so one of the things that I would like to do back when I was leading a company with my employees is, as they would accomplish things, or as I would see things that weren't quite what I wanted it to be, I would use the sandwich method. The sandwich method is like a piece of bread, and that's good. Bread is good. It's what holds things. And so it was like praise. I would say, you know what? I love the fact that you do X, Y, Z. But, and then I'd put the main thing on the bread. I start with praise, and then I coach. I say, but I would like to see this maybe a little bit more. And then I cover it up with another piece of bread. It's called the sandwich method. And so you want to praise, coach, and praise. Okay? So give feedback, constructive, positive feedback, because as a leader, you want them to be a hero. As a leader, you're not the hero. You want them to shine. You want them to be the first. You want them to, a leader has both a window and a mirror. I learned this from my buddy Luke Kipfer. Luke Kipfer said that a leader has both a mirror and a window. When things are going great, a good leader moves to the window and looks out at his team and says, it's because of them, man. I couldn't do it without them. Look at them go. They're fantastic. What a great group of people. But when things are not going so well, he moves away from the window and goes over to the mirror and says, mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me everything, tell me all. What can I do differently? That's if you do that, you're going to be fine in business. So provide regular feedback. And number 10 is, teamwork. Teamwork. So you have to foster collaboration and encourage team members to support each other. You got to have teamwork. And team is, there's so much, like in horses. I'm sure there's some people here that have horses. One horse can pull a good amount, but 2 horses can pull, you would think, double, but it's actually way more than double, because applied power, multiplied power, is greater than just one applied power. So you want multiplied power. You want to build that team idea where you can really, really do something with a team. Number 11 is competitive compensation. You want to make sure that you're paying your people well. Here's a rule of thumb. We all live in different areas. So a wage in Sarasota is probably going to be different than a wage in West Virginia or, Alabama or Iowa. And so you want to make sure that you're paying a livable wage. You don't want to be the type of boss where they resent you every time they look at your check and say, that's it. Especially if you're making a lot of money. So you want to do very competitive compensation, offer fair and competitive salaries and benefits to attract and retain top talent. Okay. So ask yourself, could you live off of what you're paying your employee? And if you say I couldn't, then how can they? So you got to look at it and care and love for your people. So number 12 is work-life balance. This is huge. I work with clients all over the country, and they're busy. I mean, they have less responsibilities than I do. I have 5 companies, and they have 1 company, and they work from sun up to sundown and even after dark. Well, that's their fault. That's because they want to. Your business is perfectly designed for the results that you're achieving. So if you don't like the results that you're getting, you got to change the design. And one of the things that I did is said from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, that's work time. After 5 or before 8, yeah, don't call me. I'm not going to answer. If my client calls me after 5 o'clock, I'm not going to answer. That's my time. That's my time with my wife. That's my free time. And so you have to set those boundaries, and you got to make sure that you promote a healthy work-life boundary for your employees. Okay. You got to make sure that they don't work so hard that they get burned out. You don't want that. All right. So you have to look at making sure that you're taking care of your people and yourself in the work-life balance arena. Number 13. I'm getting all clogged up with my cold here. It's getting worse. So number 13 is meaningful rewards. What do you do to reward your people? Sometimes attaboys and attagirls are good enough. Sometimes that's great. Pat them on the back and say, man, you killed it. If it wasn't for you, we'd be lost. Thank you. I appreciate what you do. But sometimes, just I'm just trying to think of something. Looking at my office, see if there's anything that I got for recognition. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff over there. My desk is full of awards, things that people have given me, all of that kind of stuff. But make your rewards that you give them for their hard-earned work, make it meaningful. Make it something that they're going to say, wow, this is so cool. I'm going to set that at my desk. I'm going to set that where other people can see it. So you want to make sure you give meaningful rewards. So provide incentives that align with individual interests and values. If you know somebody loves bass fishing, don't take them elk hunting. Take them bass fishing. I mean, that's simple. Number 14, encourage innovation. Woo, I love this one. Encourage innovation. Innovation means let your mind do the work for you. Like create new ideas, create new concepts, create new ideas. Let your mind do the work for you. So you want to create that. You want to encourage your team members to think outside of the box. What would happen if in your business you would start doing that? Have dreaming sessions for your business. What would happen if you would just set aside 1 day a month for 20 or 30 minutes and everybody brainstorm ideas on how to improve a certain area in your business? There's 12 months in a year. If you do that every year, you won't recognize your business in a year's time. You'll have 12 major changes in your company that you actually let them come up with. Stop trying to be the hero. Let them be the hero. You'll become significant, which is much greater than success. Significance is when you help other people become successful. So success is, anybody can get that. A homeless person, when he gets a dollar bill, that's success. But significance is when you make a difference in a person and you help them reach success. That's what I want. That's what I want for you as a business owner. That's what I want you as a leader. I want you to be not successful. That's for anybody. I want you to reach significance. I want you to be the guy that makes heroes, or the gal that makes heroes, the person that makes heroes. Stop trying to be the hero. Let other people be the hero. 15, employee involvement. Include employees in decision-making processes to make them feel valued and invested. One of the things that we do in our coaching program is we send out weekly business exercises, is what we call it. And I encourage the owner to do that with your leadership team. Do that with your employees. Let them have input into those exercises, because you're involving them. You're helping them become a hero. You're getting them involved. So you want to make sure that you can do that. Number 16, training and development. This is huge. This is huge. You have to provide ongoing training and development. It's not enough to have a training session and then that's it. Train them again. Train them in something else. Bring an expert in. Bring me in to do disc. Bring somebody else in to do all kinds of things. I'll just tell you this. You show me a very successful company with great culture within their business, and I'll show you a company that has prioritized training on an ongoing basis. You show me a company that is mediocre at best, and employees are leaving when they want to, and your turnover is good. I'll show you a company that does not prioritize ongoing training. It's just a fact that if you prioritize and you constantly are providing opportunities for people to become better, and it doesn't even have to cost you anything except maybe time. What would happen if you as a business owner would start once a week having a word of the week, and you teach them what that word means, and you teach them how to apply it, and you show them how your company could benefit and how their personal lives could benefit if they apply that word, and show them how, if we don't apply those words, how it could negatively affect us. What would happen? There's 52 weeks in a year. And if you have a word of the week, you'll have 52 character traits that you have taught in that year. And do you think that if your people could become 10% better, not as a better technician, not as a better roofer, not as a better whatever you do, but just them as a person, if they learn the skills to become a better person, to have more integrity, to have more professionalism, to have more courteous, to be more kind, to be, to all of the character traits, if they could become 10% better, how would that show up in your business? It would be powerful. It would be really powerful. 17, express gratitude. We've talked about that a lot, but gratitude is the vaccine to depression. It's impossible to be depressed and grateful at the same time. It is. It's impossible to be grouchy and grateful at the same time. So practice gratitude and express gratitude. Show them how grateful you are to them, and watch your attitude change towards them. So regularly express appreciation for employees' contribution and hard work. Number 18 is individualized motivation. So here's why it's important for you to have one-on-one meetings with your employees and get to know them individually. All right, here's why. Not everybody's the same. I'm not going to be thrilled if you give me a elk hunt in Montana. That would not thrill me. You know why? Because I don't enjoy elk hunting in Montana. I wouldn't be thrilled if you give me a Colorado hiking trip. You know why? Because I don't like hiking in Colorado. Now, if you give me a 3-day air show ticket to Oshkosh, wow, I want that. Like I'll hurt you. I'll hurt you to get that. I want that. But you know why? Because I like it. I mean, do you think I like airplanes? Look at this. Those of you that are, I love airplanes. Those of you that can actually see the presentation I'm doing, I love airplanes. I love motorcycles. I like fast cars. I like going out to eat. So individualize the motivation. You got to get to know your people in order to be able to individualize the motivation that you give them. You know, it's kind of like DISC, the different personalities. We value different things. My wife does not value like gifts and stuff like that. I mean, she likes it, but it's not like, that's not what gets her going. It's when I take out the trash and wash the dishes for her, make the bed, you know, all that kind of stuff, acts of service. That's what really gets my wife going. So you have to know your people before you can individualize it. Number 19, we got one more after this one, is transparency in goals. So when you make goals, be very transparent and show them the progress along the way. So clearly communicating company goals on how individuals' contributions align with the overall vision. So whatever goals you have, track them and show them the project and show them who contributed to make this happen in a real-time way. So number 20, the last one, is ask for feedback. Ask your employees, what can we do? How can I actually help you to be the hero? What do I need to think about this? What would happen if you would ask your employees this? What do I need to start doing? And what do I need to stop doing? And what do I need to change in order for you to have, to be, do, and have what you need to be, do, and have to become a better person? What do I need to stop doing, start doing, and change so that you can be the hero? Do you think that they might go to work with a little pep in their step if they know you have their back? Do you think they might actually do something a little bit better for the customer interaction because they know that you really do care about their success and that you want them to be a hero? I guarantee you they do. So here's the deal. If you want your employees to stop acting like employees, stop treating them like one. Start treating them like leaders. Start treating them like they have value in your company, and they'll start acting like a leader. All right. I am going to, let's see, do I want to open it up for questions? Do you want me to open it up for questions? Okay, let's see. How do we unmute everybody? Let's see. Unmute. How do we unmute everybody? Well, here we go. Ask everybody to unmute. Let's do that. So now you have the power to unmute yourself. I don't think I can mute you, but I don't know how to unmute you. So is there anybody that has any questions? I'm taking a big risk here because we're recording it, but is there anybody that has any questions or comments over what we just talked about? Ready, set, go. I'm not going to wait long, so have your questions ready. 3, 2, 1. I'm out of here. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.